Hey, the Flow here. I go by Kogo in game, and I'd like to talk about the build I've been using. A lot of people have asked me about it on my stream and on Discord, so I decided to share and talk about it today. Just to let you know that this video is not going to be very useful for the upcoming season, because a lot of things are going to change in the Nomad class and other classes too. So this video is more just to explain the build that I used to get rank 1 on season 5. However, some of the things that I'm going to explain here are useful for any season, like the attack speed concept. So let's go. The first thing I want to talk about is the talents. The initial 150 points that you get by leveling, you should distribute using the following priority system. Do note that if you are level 150, the order here does not matter much, because if you're level 150 you're gonna have Dissipate and Eye of Ra with maximum points anyway. So the reason I tell you the order is just so that you know which talents contribute more to your damage per second overall. So the order is Wind and Sand, and then Dissipate, and then Eye of Ra, and then Demolishing Tornado. However, if you have the synergy Res Demise, which is a synergy option that you can get on a Satanic Breastplate or Satanic Helm, you should prioritize Eye of Ra over Dissipate, because Eye of Ra is gonna hit all enemies around you. You can see here, notice the yellow lights hitting all enemies around me. And Dissipate can only hit a few enemies in a straight line. So Eye of Ra will do more damage overall, even in a strength build, because as you can see, I have 347,000 strength and just 125,000 energy. Yet, Eye of Ra does almost as much damage as Dissipate, as you can see here. That's because the coefficient for Eye of Ra is much bigger than Dissipate. About the stats, you should focus on strength, since it is a strength nomad build, and energy, armor or stamina won't do much for you as strength. Sure, energy will increase the damage of Eye of Ra, which has a very high coefficient, but this is not your main source of damage. Your main source of damage is Wind and Sand. About the runes, as you can see, I have 5 Wind and Sand runes, but that's because I have very good attack speed. If you don't have a good attack speed, which is above 1650, you should use some attack speed runes to compensate for that. The ideal attack speed on Nomad is above 1650. It's not mathematically exact, but it's a very good reference. It kinda goes like this. A level 10 Wind and Sand rune gives 50 points to Wind and Sand, and the level 10 attack speed gives 100 points to attack speed. So if you have less than 1650 points on attack speed, the level 10 attack speed rune will give more damage per second to your character in comparison to the level 10 Wind and Sand rune. In other words, if you have less than 1650 attack speed, increasing the attack speed by 100 will give more damage per second than increasing your Wind and Sand by 50 points. But if you have more than 1600 attack speed, you don't need to worry about that, and you can just use 5 Wind and Sand runes. Your main source of attack speed is the weapon, so you should care a lot about the attack speed on the weapons that you use. You should aim, like I said, for a weapon that has more than 1650 attack speed. And remember that you can compensate the attack speed with the runes and also relics. There are some relics that give a good amount of attack speed, like this one, like Katana. So you can collect a lot of relics that give attack speed, and eventually you're gonna have more than 100 attack speed from relics alone, and you don't need to limit yourself to a weapon that has 1600 attack speed but less strength. For example, you can get a weapon that has 1500 attack speed and more strength. The reason attack speed is so important on Nomad and many other classes is because of skills like this one. Skills that have a chance to proc on each attack. Wind and Sand, like I said before, is your main source of damage, and it has a 6% chance to proc on each attack. That's very little, and you're gonna get frustrated sometimes because it doesn't proc sometimes, especially if you don't have a good attack speed. So this right here is why you need a lot of attack speed, because if you have a lot of attack speed, you're gonna do more attacks per second, which means the amount of Wind and Sand procs over a period of time will be higher. Now about the items, some basics first. The helm and the breastplate will never give points to strength or energy. They always give points to stamina or armor or both. By the way, I'm not even going to consider legendary items, because most of the time mythic items and satanic items are the only items that you will be using, especially in high levels. So I'm not even going to consider legendary items here. The helm and the breastplate are the only items that can have synergy options, like this one and this one. And in the strength nomad, you should look for Windmaster first and Res Demise second. Sense of Time is really bad simply because Windmaster is much better, because it buffs the main source of damage on strength nomad, which is Wind and Sand. And Res Demise is also better, because Res Demise makes your Eye of Ra hit all enemies around you, and Sense of Time just adds some arc radius for Dissipate, which is not gonna hit as much enemies as Eye of Ra with the Res Demise synergy. So the armor and stamina on the helm is pretty much irrelevant. You should care more about the all talents option and also the synergy option. In the breastplate is the same thing, with the addition of the dodge % chance. You should always look for a breastplate that has a high dodge % chance. I believe that 70% is the maximum, because personally I've never found a breastplate that had more than this. And I've been stuck with this breastplate right here for a long time, because even though I've found breastplates with more armor and more stamina, more all stats and more all talents, none of them had a high dodge % chance like this one. And this dodge % chance is really important. It's gonna save you a lot of times. It can save you from a lot of things. You can even dodge things like Reaper Skulls, Damians, Blood Surge, or Frost Novas from the mages and Flying Heads, arrows, pellets. It can dodge almost anything. Not everything, but almost everything. In the breastplate, you should prioritize the synergy option, and then the dodge % chance, and then all talents. But for example, if you have a breastplate, let's say you have two breastplates, one has Windmaster with 20% dodge, and the other doesn't have synergy option, but it has 70% dodge. If you have a helm that has Windmaster, you should definitely equip the helm that has Windmaster and the breastplate that has 70% dodge but doesn't have synergy option. However, if you don't have a helm that has Windmaster, you should equip the breastplate that has the Windmaster but very low dodge % chance. So about the charm, you don't really need to have high % XP gain, because it's pretty much useless, since hero level does not provide many impactful benefits. So XP gain, it's useless unless you're trying to climb the hero level leaderboards, in which case you should try to seek the charm with the highest XP gain as possible, which personally I've found to be 70% as well. In the charm, you should prioritize strength and then all talents. In the necklace, boots and gloves, they all have the possible option of giving points to a specific talent. For example, this necklace gives 47 points to Wind and Sand, the gloves gives 39, and the boots gives 31 points to Traveler, which is useless, but it's the best I could find so far. In all of these three items, you should prioritize strength and points to a specific talent, preferably Wind and Sand, or Eye of Ra, or Dissipate, or Demolishing Tornado. Using the same priority system that I said before when I was talking about the talents. The boots has the addition of having the speed option, which increases your movement speed. As a nomad, you naturally have higher movement speed compared to other classes, so this is not very important. It's definitely good to move fast across the battlefield. It helps you in dodging projectiles, but you should not have way too much movement speed. Like around 100 to 150 is pretty good attack speed. If you have much more than that, you might have trouble in making small movements, small adjustments in some places in the game, because you're gonna have so much movement speed that even just one little fast, very quick key press will make your character move more than you intended. So definitely keep your movement speed around 120, 150, something like that. Don't go way over 200 or something like that, because you're gonna have this kind of diminishing return. In the weapon, like I said before, you should try to have, you know, a total of 1650 attack speed. So you should try to get as much attack speed as possible on the weapon. But like I said before, if you have a lot of relics that give you attack speed, you don't need a lot of attack speed on the weapon, because you already compensate that with relics. After attack speed, you should prioritize strength, and then all talents, and then lifesteal. You should try to get at least 10% lifesteal, because it's very important for you to survive, and especially if you want to play in close range, you're gonna need a very good lifesteal or you're gonna die very easily. Mana steal is useless on Nomad because you don't really use your skills as much as other classes. Your main source of damage is Wind and Sand, which is a passive that has a chance to proc on each hit, so you don't really need mana. You're surely gonna do more damage per second if you use these skills, but the difference is not big enough to make you invest into mana steal. The necklace, boots and gloves can give points to strength, stamina, armor and energy. So yeah, it might be a little complicated to find an item that gives specifically strength. Even more complicated to find an item that gives strength and points specifically to Wind and Sand. So about the relics, you should try to find ankh, a relic that gives flight. It can be Holy Bible or the Monkey King Bar or Amputation Kit, whatever gives you flight. And also Holy Water, which I don't have because I didn't find it. After that, you should try to find relics that give you attack speed, for the reasons that I mentioned before.
I would also say that Rotten Apple is one of the best relics. It functions like the Holy Water because it transforms all enemies in the map into helpless creatures. They can't attack you, they can't use skills, so you won't take any damage from them. That's why it's similar to Holy Water, because Holy Water makes you immune to most damage sources. And the duration of Rotten Apple is approximately 8 seconds and Holy Water is 6 seconds. Personally, I use Rotten Apple over Holy Water. I have found both of them and I prefer to use Rotten Apple.
There are other relics that are useful, but they're not as beneficial to Nomad as these relics. Some other relics that can be useful are Titan's Gladius or Basilisk's Tooth, because they give you a chance to one-hit enemies or deal huge damage into bosses. Relics like the Glove can be useful too. Templar Shield can help you survive against projectiles. If you want more information about what are the best relics, especially for the endgame, you should check the Steam guide I wrote. I will link it in the description. In the guide you're gonna find information about what are the best relics, how to open portal to Shiponia, how to have permanent relics, how to farm relics efficiently. So definitely check it out if you want more information about it. And that's it, guys. If you have any other questions or doubts or ideas or suggestions, any feedback, you can post in the comments, and feedback is appreciated. Depending on how this video goes, I will make another video guide talking about the playstyle of the Strength Nomad. For now, that's it guys. I hope you liked the video.
If you found this video useful, don't forget to click the like button, and if you want to be notified of future updates, just click the subscribe button. For now, that's it guys. See ya!